The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Q's on the Move. I'm Brother Prince Johnson, and I'm accompanied by Brother Bernard Jackson to my right and Brother Gary Teller. We are members of the Chi Lambda chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Chi Lambda is based out of Southern Maryland, and oftentimes we are referred to as the Southern Maryland Qs. The chapter, as well as other chapters under Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, are guided by Omega Psi Phi 4 cardinal principles, and these are manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. During TLL sessions of Q on the Move, we'll be introducing various committees to present an update to the community regarding activities of interest that the committees are currently conducting. The two committees that will be presented tonight are scholarship, which is going to be talked to by Brother Bernard Jackson, and the talent hunt, which Gary Teller will be talking about. And Brother Jackson, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I'd like to say thank you and welcome for tuning in for Q's on the Move for another exciting event where we're going to discuss a lot of the exciting things we're doing to uplift and bring back some of the gifts that we've been blessed with and giving those back to the community. And I'll be talking about scholarship as Brother Johnson mentioned. That's one of our cardinal principles. And so we're deeply rooted in making sure that we, one, convey a message of the importance of being a scholar, and we recognize those who are willing to put in the hard work to be scholastically active in their schools and communities. And so one of the things we're going to be discussing this evening is our annual scholarship program. Right. Brother Johnson, that's I think a really great program. I get excited every year, and I know Brother Taylor gets excited when it gets to scholarship time.
Because yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the greatest things an individual can do is to give back to those that are coming behind them. You know, we stand on the shoulders of all the men of Omega who went before us, who developed this vision and passed it on to us. And we're capturing a little bit of that so that we can now pass it on to the next generation. And so when we talk about scholarship in that vein, especially when it comes to Omega, it's really one of the core guiding principles that we use in shaping our day-to-day activities. And so one of the things that we do, and it's called a scholarship committee, we look at individuals, high school seniors, and really we look for students that are in St. Mary's County, Calvert County, and Charles County. And we tend to prefer, and our preference are for African American males or minority males, because we understand the challenges that these young men are going to be encountering. And so we are looking at all the things we can do to break that, what we call that school to prison pipeline. We want them to go school to college to taking care of sustaining a family. And so we try and identify young men that have demonstrated that they are trying to achieve, and that may not always be the person that's got a perfect 4.0 grade point average, but we look for individuals that demonstrate they've got tenacity and they've got that can-do spirit, and they've had to overcome some adversity in their life, and we identify those students, and we try and from our scholarship fundraising efforts that we do annually, we try and then sow that back into the community in the form of scholarships. And so we will, in Calvert County, the students can apply using the Common Core application that's on the county's website, the school website, and I think that deadline ends on 9 March for them putting in the application. Now we don't, our chapter ourselves, we don't make a determination on scholarships being awarded until the April time frame. So if you don't get a chance to download the application from the website, you can go to the Lambda website and download the scholarship from the website and send that to the individual that listed on the site, that's Brother Wilson. And as long as we have got application before April the 15th, they can be considered for scholarships. But like I mentioned earlier, and I want to make sure I reiterate that currently, because of our limited funding, we focus our funding in Charles County, St. Mary's County, and Calvert County.
Okay.
Okay. Now, once the student, if you look for the Lambda, and John Lancaster W. Cecil Short Foundation Scholarship in the Common Core application, if you click on that box, when you fill out all of the information in the Common Core, it will feed that information to us. You need to look at the application carefully, because we've also asked for some additional information that needs to be sent to Mr. Wilson Ennis. And when you get into the application, I won't go into those details here.
Right.
It'll tell you about those additional things that help us to decide who are the students that we're going to recognize. And like I say, the requirements for the scholarships is that the student demonstrate that they're proceeding towards a career in college, and then we confirm that they are enrolled in school, and the check proceeds from the scholarships are sent directly to the school where the student is enrolled.
Right.
And what this tends to do is ensure that the money is going towards academic type requirements,
right.
And not necessarily, we're not looking to provide snack money, right? And so our awards now, we've been awarding these awards now for the last few years, and we typically will go to the award ceremony at the respective high schools. And get those.
Right.
Okay.
Brother Jackson, a question. Now, do we notice any sort of impact that it has on these young folks when they apply for these scholarships? Is that raising up their GP level? Is that helping them get motivated to try to do better in school? Because the reason I asked that, because I remember when I was in the chapter down in Fredericksburg and even in Alexandria, sometimes we had a hard time getting young black males with a decent GPA.
Well, and that sometimes we've observed that over the years. I think last year was what we were fortunate, where we had almost an abundance in one county, no males at all. Actually applied in Charles County. And so it makes it it's somewhat of a challenge, and that starts to relay back to our mentoring program. That's one of the things we start to try and plant these seeds while they're in elementary school.
Good.
And so
Very
I think
good.
we talked about it the last time we were on. If a young man gets all A's on the card, we give him immediate recognition with a check or a donation of $100.
Right.
And so I think I think at the last meeting, which was last week, we asked the young man anything, and saying, "Hey, I pulled my B up to an A." And they were really excited about announcing what they were able to achieve. So it's starting. It's a marathon, and it's not a sprint. What I mean by that, it's going to take sustained reinforcement of the importance of scholarship, starting early throughout. But to answer your question directly, it won't impact a senior. By the time a senior is in school, by this time of the year, they've already, they've at that point established a record that schools and other institutions will be evaluating to make determination.
Right.
So it won't help their GPA, but what it does help is in their resume and in their writing skills to give them practice in how to write.
Absolutely.
Because we asked for an essay on describing in ours, something about themselves on things they've had to overcome them to become a scholar. And it also asks if they're awarded as a recipient of a scholarship, it's something they can add to their resume. So it starts to build their track record that they are someone who strives to excel and achieve.
One other question. Do a lot of the members, or any of the members of the Purple Boot Mentoring Program that Lambda conduct, do any of them traditionally get scholarships, or how does that work?
We try, because we have a vested interest. If we have Purple Boot students that are going to college, we typically make sure that we kind of they have a leg up.
So we're grooming them.
We're grooming them, get them. And this year, we've got 2 seniors. Kyle Carter, I think he has a 4.5 GPA.
Fantastic.
We actually,
Fantastic.
And Isaiah Jones, who also has a 3-point-something GPA. He's like an officer in his NJROTC program. Okay. We recently took both of those young men, trying to expand them beyond what we were offering. We brought them down to the Black Engineer of the Year awards, and they were able to be mentored by some of the senior officers in the government. I think Kyle was mentored by one of the retired 4-star generals.
That's something he won't forget.
And also a retired 4-star Admiral Haney. Also Admiral Michelle Howard was there, and they talked to these young men to inspire them on how they got to their careers. And Kyle was actually selected as one of the 80 students present to speak on stage. And so he was on stage with Vice Admiral Andy Wins and at this point it was the Commandant of the Marine Corps on stage with Kyle Carter as he gave remarks about what mentoring has done in helping him become a better scholar.
Well, that's fantastic.
Experience.
What's that?
Unforgettable experience.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, great. Oh, Brother Jackson, I see that scholarship is a very busy program, and it really provides a lot of benefits to our young folks out in the community. So certainly appreciate that overview of that. We're going to go ahead now and transfer over to Brother Gary Taylor, who's going to be talking about the Talent Hunt program. Go ahead, brother.
All right, so the Talent Hunt program is a nationally mandated program through Omega Psi Phi fraternity. It was first conceived in 1945, and they held their first Talent Hunt in 1946, in April of 1946, in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the 6th District. I myself have had the distinct honor and pleasure to be the first to introduce this program to Tau Lambda chapter in 2009.
Okay, great.
And I held the chair seat until 2013 when I turned it over to Brother Jake Prater.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of the Talent Hunt program is to provide the youths in grades 9 through 12 of Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's counties a vehicle to perform and demonstrate their talents, and to give exposure, encouragement, and financial assistance to those youths. I have a committee of 18 financial brothers from Tall Lambda chapter.
That's on the Talent Hunt program?
Yes.
That's a large committee, brother.
Very large, and they're all thoroughly immersed.
Good.
And the program is up and running. Incidentally, the program is set to be held on the 21st of March at Thomas Stone High School Auditorium, which is Saturday, starting from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Okay. And Thomas Stone is located?
Thomas Stone High School is located in Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay.
Is there any cost to attend?
This is free and open to the public.
Oh, great,
The
great.
kids will be performing instrumental music, vocal music, drama, dance, and possibly visual arts.
Oh, okay.
Has any of your talent hunt winners gone on to a career or the follow-on competition in the talent hunt program?
So I'm glad you asked that question.
Okay, it looks like we got a call on line 1.
Okay, let's take that call.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. This is Bernard Jackson and Prince Johnson and Gary Taylor. What question? How can we help you, ma'am?
Yeah, I was just, I wanted to know, like, what is it that, I guess, pushes you guys or drives you guys to do things for youth in the area?
Well, I can kind of say because, we were given an opportunity, I think all three of us can kind of say at some point in our life, somebody reached out and helped us. I know I did not get where I am today without the help. I remember my old scoutmaster. I remember some of my football coaches and some of the mentors along the way that I never imagined that I grew up in Georgia in what we call the old dirt clay streets of Georgia, and I never imagined based on my surroundings some of the opportunities that I was given because someone took the time to invest in me and convince me I could do anything if I put my mind to it. And so we understand that importance, and that drives us to want to give back. And the older you get, leaving a legacy of passing on something good to those you left behind and paving the way starts to take on more importance.
Also, as Omega Men, one of our cardinal principles is uplift. And so we not only uplift ourselves as brothers, but within our community, we go out and we do community work. And we particularly addresses the youth condition and try to uplift them and bring them into a better place.
Yeah, and I'd like to add that I grew up in a different environment from Brother Jackson. I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, North Philadelphia to be precise. And I tell you that the role models that we had up there were the drug dealers, the pimps, the hustlers. Those were our role models. Once I got into the military and I started talking with brothers that were affiliated with Omega Psi Phi, and they started talking to me about setting higher goals and all, that made an immediate impact on me and my aspiration. I tell you, it's almost like that old adage that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated is part of that village.
We exemplify that.
Yep. I hope that answered your question.
I did. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time to call in.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was an excellent question.
Yes.
And we look forward to talking with you again soon.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, so Brother Jackson, you was asking about the accomplishments.
Yes.
Yes. So I said we started in 2009, and so this is the 12th year of our existence, and we've had one of our performers from Tall Lambda got first place in his category. but he did not win the overall competition.
Okay.
And we have had 2 of them who won second place.
What did he
So-
perform in? The one who, what did he perform? What did he?
They were both vocal.
Oh, singing.
Yeah,
Okay.
vocal.
Good.
And we have had one, Langston Hughes, who came in second, and he played the saxophone. Yeah.
Well, I heard about
And he,
that.
he came in second
was
twice.
fantastic. Yeah.
He did it 2 years in a row. Everybody said he got robbed. And they actually thought he performed well enough to win the overall competition.
Right.
But he only managed a second place in his
Yeah.
category on both occasions.
And I guess it depends on the way the judges look at
Right.
that. So, yeah.
So, you know, the kids here coming through our local talent hunt program, they have the opportunity to go to their district, which this year is going to be in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if they win the second district competition, they will move on to Tampa, Florida in July to the conclave.
Now,
here-
does the individual have to pay for their travel, or does the Omega Psi Phi cover that travel?
that's all in our budget.
Okay.
We
Oh.
cover that.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Cover the individual and a chaperone.
Make
like
me
a
want to
parent.
apply for the talent show.
Plus, they get a per diem
Wow.
for food, hotel, and all that.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes. The last thing I'd like to add to that is that we do give monetary awards
Okay.
for first, second, and third place. So the
Okay.
first place winner would get a $500 cash award.
okay.
Second place will get $250, and third place get $100.
Now, do they win as they move forward in other competition? Is there
Yes.
a monetary value assigned to those?
Right.
levels?
So I'm not sure of the incremental values, but they can win up to $1,000 at the
Okay.
district, and another 1,000 or more at the
National
conclave. Yes.
Okay.
And at the conclave, they are exposed to chapters from around the country,
Right.
around the world. Really.
Around the world.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that at the district, the competition will take place at the August Wilson. You ever heard that name? He's a well-known drama person in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia area. And it's going to be at that August Wilson Center,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
state of the art.
State of the art.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It sounds like a really worthwhile program, and if you've got talent and you like to display it, and you like the opportunity to win some cash award as well as recognition and travel to some Pittsburgh and Tampa, Florida, please check out the Tall Lambda website. Brother Taylor, do they have where do they go? to
so
find
you
it?
go to www.southernmdqs.org, or you can contact myself, Brother Gary Taylor, at 240-210-3938, or Brother Quentin Lowe at 301-257-2378. And we will ensure that you get the proper resources to participate in the talent hunt program.
I think that's just an excellent overview of a super program that is available to students. You say now, is that just for students in Calvert, St. Mary's, and Charles County?
Right.
Okay.
Tri-county.
What about for people that are outside of that area that are interested in the talent hunt?
We will consider that also. In fact, I believe we have someone who's interested from Gwen Park High School.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we are going to allow that person to participate.
Yeah. As Brother Taylor mentioned, this is a mandated chapters for all chapters. So not only is Tar Lambda and Lambda conducting a talent hunt, but there are chapters in Virginia, there are chapters in Upper Maryland,
Yeah.
and also in D.C.
Yeah.
that have their own individual talent hunt.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of limited in your ability to travel and you're not located in Southern Maryland, one, we'd like you to reach out to us. We may be able to make an exception and have you in our program.
Fantastic.
Or we can at least steer you in the right direction of a chapter that's in your locale that will that we know everybody has. Every chapter is required to conduct a talent hunt program of some nature.
Yes.
Yes.
So right now I'm really shooting to increase the participants. So make sure you call us or go to the website www.southernmdqs.org and register, and we'll get all the resources to you if you're interested in participating in the 2020 Talent Hunt program this year.
Yeah, and I tell you, as evident by both committees, Brother Jackson, Scholarship Committee, well, that's one of our cardinal principles, scholarship. Brother Teller, you're the Talent Hunt Committee. Well, you provide uplift to the community.
Yes.
Okay, looks like we got another
phone call.
call.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You're calling in the Q's on the Move. You've got Brother Bernard Jackson, Brother Prince Johnson, and Brother Gary Taylor here. How can we help you?
Yes, I might have missed the information earlier, but I wanted to know more about your scholarship program. Like, what are the requirements? And there's specific amounts.
Okay, well, the requirements for the scholarship is that the student be enrolled in a senior in high school, in good standing at the high school, and they've been accepted, or they can demonstrate that they are they're matriculating to college. And then we, with the application that they can obtain, make a determination on what we call a whole person concept.
Right.
And the scholarship minimum award level is $1,000 that we award to the student, and it's paid directly to the school. Once we get confirmation of where the student plans to enroll, where they're going to enroll, we make arrangements to send the payment to the finance office, so that we make sure that it goes against the student's academic requirements. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
But thank you, and please feel free to call in again. That's an excellent question.
Yeah, it sure was. Well, I tell you, we just got news by the studio that it's time to go and wrap up. But again, as a Chapter Omega Psi Phi fraternity, our goals are, as you can see, are to help the community, members of the community, and try to help them become the leaders of tomorrow. As Brother Jackson and Brother Teller mentioned, the scholarship and the talent hunt provides scholarship. He provide that committee provide uplift. We thank you for your participation, and we look forward to you joining us again next month for our Q on the Move. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good night.